Per Dexter's request.
Boom!
Starting with Transition 5
Woohoo!
into the Shrewdness. Welcome. We have a great show tonight planned for you all. I'm Prue. Dex, Chiz, and Lou are joining me. We are the Shrewdness. And we are going to talk about a small sporting event called the Super Bowl. We also had a blockbuster trade in the NBA this week. Maybe you call it a blockbuster trade. It was the
April Fool's trade.
April Fool's trade is probably a
That
better
was real.
descriptor. So we'll talk about Luka and what's up with the Dallas organization.
What is up?
Someone lost a bet.
Yeah.
What is up?
We wanted to acknowledge MU Tigers and their basketball season.
That's right.
It's going really
Go
well.
Tigs. Go Tigs.
C-O-U.
Lewis wants to talk about those guys and
just a couple minutes.
just acknowledge, how great of a season they're having. And then we're going to finish with kind of our plan leading up to Major League Baseball season and how we're going to cover that over the next month or 6 weeks or whatever. So with that, let's launch right into it. Jism, tell us about your latest news in Dallas. What are the
Yeah. So
what are the Mavs doing?
Like, I'll admit, like, I've never been like all in on the NBA because we grew up in Missouri. We didn't have a team, right? So
True story.
you were like, hey, who do I want to root for? I don't want to root for.
Technically, we had the Kansas City Kings, but it was before our
We
time.
did before our time.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, I kind of floated around, just kind of followed players, whatever. I moved to Dallas, and I'm not like a hardcore Mavs fan, but I've become, a bit of a
follower.
Mavs fan, a follower. I watch a few regular season games, watch for the playoffs, go to a couple games a season. But I'm definitely a Luka Doncic fan because he is, in my opinion, truly a generational talent.
Your opinion would mirror literally anybody who has a real opinion.
If you've ever watched basketball and you've seen what the guy could do with the basketball,
arguably top 3 in the world.
Vision.
No, it's not
Exactly.
arguably. He is one of the top 3 players in the world.
So here's the question:
It's not arguable.
if you're gonna trade Luka Doncic, if you've got Luka on your team, right? Look, I'll just pose the question to you guys. Open it up. Who would you consider trading Luka for? Just straight up. Who would you consider? What's the list that you consider?
So here's the deal. We have 4 relatively faux NBA fans at best.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of Bill Simmons. Bill Simmons is a self-professed and a very ingrained NBA fan. Actually watches multiple teams consistently. And I had been listening to his top 50 or top 85 trade value podcast while this was literally happening. It was kind of the weirdest, most surreal experience. And Luka was 4 behind SGA only because of the injuries that he's been kind of naggingly had right now. But he's really 3, but he got quibbled into 4 just because of the injuries right now.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We got to do full names. Not all of our Shrewdness or NBA guys.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the Oklahoma Thunder, right?
There you go.
And the only people ahead of him were
Wemby?
Giannis, and don't even make me try to pronounce the name.
Wemby.
Greek freak.
And Wemby. That's it. You're not it, but nobody thought that there was any. These were put into a no. There's no scenario where these are actually tradable assets.
No, except for each other. So I would trade Doncic for Wemby, for instance. I do that trade because Wemby's younger and he's got just as much or more upside.
But San Antonio would never make the trade.
And they would never make the trade, which supposedly, in the wisdom of the Dallas GM, who I honestly don't know how this guy has a job. I went and did the digging on him. Okay, I went
prior to this, he'd had some success, and if nothing else, you should give him credit for the Yahoo shooting guard.
Kyrie.
Getting Kyrie And Kyrie has he went from there's no way this is going to work out to it's totally worked out.
Totally.
So he's gotten a lot of credit for turning a little bit of chicken X into chicken salad.
No, I get it. Here's the deal, though, Lewis. Here's the deal. When you got Kyrie, it's like you brought in this big bowl of ice cream, and I'm like, well done. Good job bringing ice cream. And then you know what he did this week? He pulled down his pants, he turned around, and he took a dump in the middle of the ice cream. It doesn't even matter that you brought the ice cream anymore, okay? Because
Rocky
you
Road
crapped all in the ice cream, and everyone is like, I don't even want to see the ice cream anymore. I don't even want to be in your restaurant anymore. I don't want to be near your restaurant.
The Snickers bar in the pool.
It is the equivalent. I was trying to I can't even put my head around to try and dimensionalize for Kansas City fans what this is like. But it would be something like trading Patrick Mahomes right now, okay,
for Aaron Rodgers.
No. I know the right one, and I've got it. But if you don't get it right, I've got it.
Tell me, because I've had a million thoughts in my head, and I can't equivalize it.
For Bryce Young,
Mike Evans on Tampa Bay.
Mike Evans,
yeah, tail end.
Yeah, I get it. I can
really
see it.
good.
Yeah.
But you agree? Is Mike Evans pretty good? Could he help you win some games? Absolutely.
Right.
Is Mike Evans a potential piece of a championship team? Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If we had Mike
That's
Evans
actually
right
really
now,
good, Lou.
would
That's
that
really good.
move the
like
line
it.
a point to a point in the Chiefs' favor? Absolutely.
I like Mike Evans.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy. So here's the thing.
If you took Patrick Mahomes out of the Super Bowl right now, it moves the line 3 points.
So
If you took
minimum,
what would the reaction be?
Minimum for sure.
What would the reaction be if in Kansas City, if tomorrow they were like, "Hey, we're trading Patrick Mahomes for Mike Evans and a 2029 first round draft pick," because that's what happened.
Pretty set in 4 years. Woo!
Oh my gosh!
The Dallas reaction was, "Hey, there's some interesting things," and somebody brought a coffin to the stadium, but there would be fires.
They would burn Arrowhead to the ground.
Yes, not just Arrowhead. Most of Kansas City would burn to the ground.
The plaza, no longer the plaza. It is now the Gaza Strip.
I really can't understand. It's such
okay.
a bizarre move.
Chisholm. My only thing is, it's effing happened. All right,
yes,
it's not going to unhappen. Yes. We're not putting this toothpaste back in the tube. So all now that you can is a faux Maverick / half Maverick.
I have not got to follow this
Mavericks.
as much. What is the Dallas GM's rationale?
So here's the rationale.
For the trade? You were almost getting to it, but you didn't get to it.
Let me play devil's advocate, and here's what it is. Okay.
Can I do that since you've got the positive, you got the negative side? Okay. I'll do the positive side. I know all the angles. So here's the deal. Luka Doncic loves to drink beer, and he loves to show up out of shape. His current weight at he's close to 6'9", right?
Yeah.
He's 285.
He's big.
Okay. He's chunky at best. Now, he's chunky at best. He's a little bit portly right now, and it's been a constant thing.
He's been hurt for 6 weeks and drinking beer with no back.
Yeah, he's been drinking beer and not working out, and they have been constantly writing him about getting in shape and being a leader. And if he's not going to be in shape and he's going to show up and have to play himself into shape constantly, it's bringing down their ultimate goals as being a team that has been in the finals twice out of the last 4 years. Okay, Chisholm, back off. I get it. Because of him. No, I get it.
Because of him.
Because of him. But regardless, they're a contender. Right, Chisholm?
Yes, absolutely.
They are right now a contender somehow with what they've assembled. And they're fat ass, we're tired of constantly fighting you on this.
You gotta stop hitting the desk,
here's the deal. You've got one more year. And then we've got to do this whole thing again with your contract. And we're going to give you the super max contract. Right. And then if you are just a big old fat, portly 350 ball of fat that runs around and is out of shape.
A big old ball of winning.
But stops winning because you're 350 pounds of Coors Light drinking whatever, right?
Right.
and we're paying you
probably
this
be Coors
money,
Diesel.
you're suddenly just a huge mess that we have to deal with.
Well, you also forgot another thing, Lewis. So here's the other.
I haven't forgotten anything, but you can point out the other aspect.
Here's the other aspect. There is some concern, although Luka has since dispelled that he wouldn't sign the Supermax. Okay, so they thought he may actually become a free agent at the end of it. That he would walk. They would get nothing out of it, which wasn't going to happen. He said today, wearing his Laker uniform, I was absolutely going to sign the Supermax with Dallas.
Well, for those non-NBA fans like the normal us Shrewdness people, here's one of the things that you have to understand. You can only get super extra duper money if you stay with your one team for a long enough time. And so once you go to a new team,
like LeBron,
you lose that ability to sign this
Miami.
There's this kicker. Yeah. There's this kicker of, well, you're with this team and there's like this loyalty basically bonus. Right. So being traded cost him money. It was actually worth him from a financial standpoint to stay with Dallas.
The other downside, which Lewis, I know you know, but you didn't say, is he doesn't like to play defense. So he is not a good defensive player. He's not. He's a bottom third defensive player. But when you put up a triple-double, every night, a triple-double, it's
not
insane.
That, Chisholm. It's the fact that if you are within
it's like 27, 8,
6
7
points with 90 seconds to go, either side, your odds of winning are 75%. Because it just doesn't matter if you're within 3 points within 30 seconds, you at least are close to a tie. Because that's what that guy has shown time in and time out in an absolute, the most pressure cooker. We're talking about the finals of a 7th game series. If he needs to get a 3 to save your season, he's going to beat all. They're going to throw extra. They have 6 people on the court. They'll throw all 6 people at him, and somehow he'll still dribble through them all and get a 3 and make the 3. He is a absolute
slow, portly way.
It is. It's a
bizarre kind of
weird thing because it's like a slow-mo thing, but it works. Yeah.
He's Matrix.
He is Matrix-like. Let me put in perspective for non-NBA fans. Let me put in perspective for here. You've got LeBron James. You know how many triple-doubles LeBron James has in his career? Anyone?
A lot.
122, okay? He's 40 years old. Luka, 25. He's got.
Hold on. Chisholm, I need to pause. Are you guys making fun of my aluminum collection here? I'm a God-blessed recycler. Thank you.
It's in a very convenient spot, man. It's awesome.
Right there, it's awesome.
Somebody drinks a lot of Diet Cokes.
So LeBron James has 122 triple doubles in his career. He's 40. Luka's 25. He has 80. Okay, do you think he's going to catch him?
Not at 300 pounds, he won't.
I think he might. So, basically, what happened there? Now, and here's the other thing. If you're going to trade him, okay, you've got Luka. How would you go about trading him? Here's how I'd go about trading him if I were the GM. I'm getting on the horn with literally the world. And I'm saying, hello, world. Luka Doncic is up for grabs now.
Chisholm, I will say that it's insane that there should have been more from the Lakers. Full stop.
You think?
No. Okay, there's never an argument there. But I've actually heard the analysis of there wasn't another player that they would have gotten that they would have wanted because Anthony Davis is still top 12. There's really nobody else that they wanted. They should have gotten.
I don't know.
More.
Joker. Give me the Joker.
Well, Denver's not that dumb.
Give me the Joker. I'll take the Joker. I'll take the Joker over Anthony Davis.
Stop it.
Over street clothes.
Also not happening.
Nicola.
But he's in that. He is at that top tier of.
He's not.
Wemby.
He's not above
Joker.
Him. He's not above him in the trade.
Oh, he's
trade
above
value.
him. Okay.
No, not the trade
who's got
value.
a ring? Who's got a ring?
No.
I missed
you
that one.
just told me the trade value.
I missed that one.
Just
I
told
missed
me.
that one. I missed that one. I missed
Okay.
that one.
How about this? How about this? I'll even take Ja. Give me Ja. Ja sells tickets. Ja sells tickets.
Jaws availability. That would have been a terrible between
Better than
injuries.
street clothes.
Between injuries and decision making, that would never have been a great
The man's
decision.
nickname is literally Anthony Street Clothes Davis because most of the time he's wearing street clothes on the bench. Like it is absolutely insane. They couldn't have found a list of more injured players to trade for. He's 32.
Chisholm, we are going to argue this to a point
For
where
the injury risk
you and I are going to agree.
Choice.
I still would never agree that this was a good trade.
No.
I'm just saying there is a world where, number one, on the list, I've heard the analysis, that's the best player they could have gotten for Luka. They should have gotten.
Don't buy it. Yes.
But they could have gotten a couple players. If you're doing three-team trades, they probably could have gotten this and this.
And here's the other thing. Okay, don't give me anyone.
They didn't get enough.
Don't give me anyone and give me a boatload of first-round, second-round draft picks for the next 3 years.
Well, Lakers didn't have a lot.
But if you call anyone
But you
else
should have gotten them. You should have gotten all of the not little they had. They should not have had a pick until 20 or something
35.
3,000 something or other. Like I get it.
Because what if 2029 is just not the year you want the Lakers first round pick because Luka's taking him deep?
Right. Because guess
what?
They're not going to be bad.
And again, even small nonsense like there should have been some offer of like multiple pick swaps. Like,
totally.
Cool.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, whether I want it or not, if it matters, that's great. I should have the option. They didn't go for it. Whatever happened, the only thing that redeems this trade is a real Luka like bombshell health thing that comes out, and the Dallas GM got ahead of it, and the LA people had to take. You still have to take the trade, even with whatever the health scare is.
Yeah, the only way this works is if he becomes Griffey Jr. in Cincinnati, where he's hurt.
Well, he had a couple good seasons, yeah.
You know, like
You're
that's
right.
the only way it works. So, like, the fact is, and here's the part that's undeniably wrong. He made 2 calls. He made 1 call to San Antonio, which I'll give him credit for at least having the brain to do that, and say, hey, how about Wemby? And they said, go pack sand.
They did make the call?
So he made that call. And the second call he made was to the Lakers and he said, the second guy on my list. He said the second guy on my list.
They really
wow.
Now
was
you have to understand.
Clothes.
You have to understand there is a bit of a like he does overvalue.
You think?
But he is
Davis is actually playing though, correct? And Doncic isn't, correct? So I guess from that point of view, in their 11th,
and Davis has been playing incredibly well this year and last year, and he is.
And Kyrie's doing just fine. So they still have a good enough team.
Kyrie has been doing better than just fine. That's the thing.
Great.
Kyrie has not had a single meltdown in like a year and a half.
The other thing that didn't make sense was outside of Kyrie, the 2 best players they had outside of Kyrie and Doncic were bigs. So they got a third big. So now they have 3 guys. The 3 of their 4 best players are all bigs. So they didn't get an area of need on top of that. So there's so much wrong with the trade. It's crazy. But my biggest overall beef with it is when you make Luka Doncic available, you make him available and it's high bid wins. I will give you to whoever brings me the most crap. I will be take it.
Chisholm, I get it, but it was a very specific, we don't want to sell Luka, we want to be competitive by selling him. And so I agree.
If you wanted to be competitive,
if you put it out there and somebody offers you 14 number 1 picks,
right?
Maybe you just acknowledge that you're going to be the best team in 2034. But
yeah, and you keep your fan base because they go, hella, we're going to be hella good for the next 10 years. Instead, what you did was you ripped their heart out. And if you look at the Dallas fans' reaction, it's 100% legit because it's like, hey, the reason I had season tickets was to go watch Luka play ball, right? That's why I had season tickets. You do have some loyal
And to
Mavs
watch them
fans,
go back to the finals again.
yes,
And now,
which they
now
just
like,
went to. So it's like either that, or you have a few loyal fans like Lou. Remember Bear? Bear was a Mavs fan, right? You have some loyal fans base who are like, I'm all in on the Mavs.
80s,
and you know
80s.
what?
There were some great 80s.
Oh,
Mavericks.
there were. And, but
really,
you know what? You know what you did to the
there's an
loyal Mavs
alternate
fans?
multiverse where the 80s Mavs were the 80s Lakers. And
Yes.
no one's going to believe that when I say it out loud. But if
It's
you
true,
look
though.
at the talent that the
Yes.
Mavericks pushed the Lakers, the Magic Johnson Lakers, to their absolute limits and almost beat them.
Yes. But you
And
know,
so-
the Luka fans are gone now. The loyal fans, the loyal Mavs fans, just felt like you
They took
kicked
a
them in the
gut shot.
jimmies because you traded Bobby Witt Jr. for Justin Verlander.
Oh, don't even bring.
And, like,
Don't even say anything.
That's
like
exactly what they traded Bobby Witt Jr. for Justin Verlander.
Oh,
That's what they did.
Now you hit me. Now you found something that connects.
And so, why do I want to go to a Mavs game now? Now, last thing, and then we'll get off this. Here's the conspiracy theory. The conspiracy theory in Dallas.
That's what I wanted to get to. Y'all want to get all on the refs and the Chiefs, all right? And y'all want to be all like, oh my God, the NFL's rigged.
Right.
This is way worse.
So for those of
way
you who don't know,
worse than
I don't
any
know. I need-
NFL.
those of you who don't
Enlighten
know,
me. I'm gonna put my
Mark
tinfoil hat on.
Cuban, who's been a face of the Mavs forever as the owner, sold his majority ownership about a year ago. Sold his majority ownership, and now he only owns 25% of the team. The family that he sold to happens to be a family that's into casinos. They own casinos. They're a Vegas-based casino family. Okay? So the theory was whenever they bought him, they have some land in Irving, in here in Dallas-Fort Worth area. And the thought was they're going to push for casinos to be legalized. They're going to build the resort in Dallas, the first resort,
With
and they're
their
going to
new
build a
stadium.
new Mavs stadium right there. And it's going to be heaven on earth for sports gambling fans. I would have been there a lot. So that's the case. Well, roads gotten pretty rocky in Texas. They're not exactly getting what they thought in terms of response. The legislature's looking a little stiff. So there's some thought, you know what would be good is if we major leagued this thing. If we tank and we throw Luka and we piss off the fan base so much that they stop coming to the games, hello, Vegas Mavericks.
Yep.
We'll take the team to Las Vegas. And it would not shock me in the least bit because no GM would have the balls to do this unless his owner said, I got you. Don't worry. You're taken care of. No matter what, you're good. So
That
the
would
more
be
I read
brutal.
it, the more I believe it. That's
That
what
would
I
be
think.
Plus, I will say,
You heard it on the
I will
Shrewdness first.
say, no. I
Well, at
will
least
say
10th.
it's a defensible trade if you want to win this year.
True. Arguably,
So, like,
they
cool.
got better this year.
Yeah, no, cool. Luka's not playing right now. We get somebody who's playing at not a all NBA level.
Does
Cool.
have 4 more
When
months to get to the
you
playoffs.
try to win the championship this year, we're totally effed. And then, guess what happens? Suddenly the whole team is floundering for the next few years. And you can
How
see
much
it.
longer has Street Clothes got on his contract?
It's a great question. I'm not sure.
He's good. I believe it's one of those things where he's
How
He's
many more
locked
years
in
is
for a
Street
while.
Clothes going to play of his contract is the real question.
basically, yeah.
Now, I would say the other problem with this is Kyrie has worked well because Kyrie loved the mojo of the team. The problem with Kyrie is he's very, what you would call, mercurial. And as things go bad, Kyrie tends to go really bad. So if
He's
things
changed.
go, if
He's
things
changed.
go bad, the whole thing could implode. Kyrie could become a little hellion on the team, and all of a sudden, it's you've got.
I get
10
it,
wins.
Chisholm, but
He's
remember,
gotta,
there's
playing
only
with AD.
one ball, and
True.
though he has been playing well as somehow off ball with Luka, now it's like, cool, here's the keys. Like,
No, you're right. He does have.
it
now,
could be the opposite. He could be
could be
like,
really good.
awesome. I'm just gonna go nuts. I can do
Yes.
whatever I want, and
No,
I've
you're
just
right.
got like a perfect defender, perfect rebounder, who I will just feed
But
when I
let's
want.
not forget. Let's not forget. Kyrie's no spring chicken either.
I was
He's
going to
not
say, he
Houston
won't be playing in
Super Young either.
Vegas regardless.
Now, the last
Yeah,
part
I'm
of
just
his,
saying, it's not going to be a bad thing for this year.
Correct. I agree. The last thing I will say
we may
about
have,
Do it, Prue.
wait.
we may
Last
have
thing I
to,
want to say is the Lakers. There's the last sentence on it. The last thing I want to say is the Lakers obviously was genius. They've got their poster boy post LeBron, and they will never have to have no superstar, right?
It's
but
amazing.
I will say for this year, it's like it doesn't make sense. And even if Luka and LeBron play together, it doesn't make sense because both those dudes want to shoot the ball all the time. So that's not a good match. It's a great next step, but in the interim,
we'll
it's
see.
weird, and I don't think it works.
You put two top-tier talents on the same team at the same time who are both ridiculous IQ NBA guys. Yeah. We may see some magic. I don't know.
True.
Yeah.
If Luka plays this
all right. All right. We got to move on. We got lots to talk about in a short time to do it. Let's move on to the Super Bowl. Got the Chiefs and Eagles.
You mean the annual crowning of the champion Chiefs? Is that what you're talking about?
Right. This is the second revision of the time the Chiefs won the Super Bowl in the last 3 years.
Right.
So, yeah, it's I don't know. Honestly, I haven't heard nearly as much news in Kansas City this year as I have the last two. It's starting to become like habit that they get this far and that they go back to the Super Bowl. There's still people that are, I think my kids both had a like Spirit Day, wear your Chiefs gear today type thing, and we're having a deal at work on Thursday, and so there's
Red Friday.
Like every February 4th, your Chiefs games stuff to school.
So it's stuff's still happening, but it doesn't feel the same as it did, 2 years ago when it was like, oh, we got back to the Super Bowl, and then last year it was like, whoa, back to back, and so
back to back.
I hate to say it, but it's like it's almost like yawn, like.
Oh, it's never yawn.
It's never yawn. I will say though,
not to diehard fans, but
news out of New Orleans is there's a lot more Eagles fans down there than Chiefs fans because obviously, they haven't won one in a while, and it is a bigger ticket for them than for Chiefs fans. Although I would say it would be pretty stinking sweet to watch the three-peat. So we'd love that.
Another thing I heard news-wise is that there are more Super Bowl available tickets at reasonable prices than there are places to stay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, reasonable prices. I keep seeing what they're talking about. They're still like $5,000.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm just saying. I think
Super
that
Bowl.
like a place to stay may cost you $5,000.
Yeah.
I'd sleep in my car.
New Orleans ain't that big. That's the challenge. It's not that big of a city. It's a cool city to visit, but it's really not big. There's not a lot of capacity there. When I look at the matchup though, let's talk matchup. What do you guys think when you look at the positions? If you want to do the position breakdown, right? Want to go position group by position group. All right, we'll start with the easy one, quarterback.
Oh man, let me think. Mahomes. God bless me.
mean, it's an A versus C. Is there any argument there?
Yeah,
C plus maybe.
I mean, Hurts did show up last Super Bowl. He had an incredible game.
He did,
right?
Yep.
He showed up last week. Last week he had an amazing game against an insanely bad defense.
He doesn't suck. That's the takeaway.
Running
back.
B minus.
It's another easy one.
C plus, B minus, something like that.
Yeah, I'd say that. Running backs.
I mean, it's
I
A
got
plus
you.
Saquon.
Is an A plus. I get it, and we have at best C plus, C minus. I don't know how you want to look.
I would give.
We're not getting a
B pluses or whatever.
Yeah,
I think they're passable running backs, but they're definitely no Saquon.
Yeah,
and offensive line. It's Philly.
Pretty toss up.
I don't know.
I think this is
Philly's
toss
got the
up.
edge.
Our
They're not
biggest
playing a
issue
left guard at left tackle.
How good is Tooney?
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly, I feel like the Super Bowl may rest on his shoulders. If Tooney's
do you guys
good,
think is Tooney going to be the left tackle?
Yes,
100%.
Yeah. There's no question about it.
100%.
It's Tooney without a question, and if Tooney can hold up, then you have basically a B offensive line versus an A defensive line, And on the other side, you have kind of a B defensive line versus an A offensive line.
Yeah. So here's my question for you guys. On the Chiefs offensive line, if Tooney has a bad game and he's not looking good at left tackle, who comes in?
I mean, he'll just go to left guard.
Yeah, he goes left guard, but then who comes in to play left tackle?
I don't know. You said that big old Humphrey.
Probably the Humphreys guy, DJ Humphreys.
You think it's Humphrey? Is he the first off the bench?
Maybe
I think they would try that.
I think so.
If as a possibility. My hope is that they scheme it and that they leave Tooney out there, but then they're just like, I got you. Tooney's not doing this by himself, and we're going to be a little bit more max protect.
I think that's probably
You're going to be chipping with Hunt and Pacheco.
Yeah.
You're going to be throwing quick screens.
You can rephrase that to Hunt.
Yeah.
Pacheco is not near the chipper.
Hunt
is a chipper. Hunt is a quarter offensive lineman chipper.
He's a wood chipper.
That dude has absolutely shown time and time again that he can pick up. He can absolutely pick up somebody, and that is not a small piece.
I don't think.
I heard you say Noah Gray too, Dex. I think they'll mix in their double tight end sets and things like that.
They're going to run 13.
I think we're going to see a lot.
It's going to be my boy. My boy's going to be in there a lot. It's going to be 13 personnel.
Yeah, I can see that.
Hendershot.
Yeah, Pendershot or whatever. Yeah, Hendershot.
My boy Pendershot.
Hendershot's going to be in there. They're going to be on Hendershot, Kelsey. I can guarantee you they're going to be running some 13 personnel.
I agree.
Pendergast in there.
So you mentioned Pacheco. I don't think Pacheco is fully healed.
He's not, and he's going to get 15% run at best.
Yeah, and I think that's okay. For him to come back, given the extent of his injury, I was kind of surprised.
Broken leg
early
in the middle.
He did.
Yeah.
So let's go to tight ends.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, Dallas Goedert is pretty not among the top 4 tight ends on the field. So
Dallas Goedert has had an amazing postseason too.
Yeah.
Yes,
so that's closer than we think. It's
you have the greatest tight end of all time,
especially in the playoffs.
On one side in the playoffs, and you have Dallas Goedert on the other. So I mean, I did see one
I'd
ranking.
go with an A versus a B. Fine.
I did see one ranking that put the Eagles unit ahead of the Chiefs at tight end, and I was like,
that's weird.
I am done reading now because this is
Noah Gray's also really good.
I've ever seen. This doesn't even make any sense. So now let's go to wide receivers.
Yeah, that's gonna be Philly. That's AJ and Devontae by themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Xavier Worthy. Got it. But do they have a track record? And DeAndre Hopkins, maybe Hall of Fame. We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
But boy, it doesn't look like it. Hollywood Brown, really good, talented. Juju. I mean, it's just we're having to really just be homers to say Chiefs on this one.
Watson.
So, I mean, I agree the top 2 in Philly are better than our top 4.
Oh, but after the top 2.
But then you get rid of, I mean, if one of the 2 of them go down, who does Philly have left?
Okay, here's
wide
my
receiver. I think we have a good rounded group, but not as talented as AJ Brown.
Here's my wild card question for you guys. As the person who has been consistently there throughout the Super Bowls and the wins, does McCole Hardman get in the game?
No, there's not room for him on the field. There's just too much talent right now. This is the first time there's been too much talent.
If Remigio keeps running 60-yard kickoff returns, Hardman will be a cheerleader the whole game.
I will say that is a one big advantage. Our overall special teams is way better than theirs.
Yeah.
That on every facet.
I agree.
Their kicker is potentially due to miss a kick.
Yep.
And we've got pretty good. We've got return stuff. But what I think we can highlight very clearly by going through all of this is what everybody has said. Overall, personnel-wise, Eagles have a overall better personnel package.
They're a stacked team.
Now, wait. We haven't finished yet.
Yep.
B lines. I think, Lewis, you talked about it. That's probably right. B for... Although, Big Game Chris, it's hard to give
Yeah.
Chris Jones
Again, yeah, stop. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, Mahomes is an A, but like, but really in the Super Bowl, isn't Mahomes like an S? Like,
right.
You could be like, cool, that's all great and well that he might be the best, but like in the Super Bowl, like, is there anybody else you really want right now? No. Like, it's like Mahomes, God, XXXXX, right? Like, I don't know. Like,
right.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. So it's like, overall, I love Furious George. I love Chris Jones. I think there's some good.
Duffy.
Mike Dana looks great. Nandi is awesome.
Turk.
All of that sounds great, but they're kind of like a B to B plus all year. But in the Super Bowl, Chris Jones maybe S tier, like FU mode. Like, I'm going to be Aaron Donald 2.0, and would anybody be surprised?
He
just like owns the game. Oh my God, Chris Jones just dominates. Any Philly fan listens to this is like, yeah, that could happen. That's absolutely going to happen. There's nothing we can do about it.
Fumble to the house is not the most unlikely thing in this game.
So that's the problem I have.
I still think it's another defensive lineman that's the hero, though. I think Chris Jones just absorbs double teams the whole game.
Dana. Dana's been having a run.
It's Dana. It's Karlaftis.
It's your engineer, dude. Wharton.
Yeah. Turk Wharton.
It's two arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Double Arms.
2 arm for 1 arm.
Dude is ridiculously strong.
Okay, so let's go to linebacking core.
They've got really good linebackers.
Yeah, that's the issue, man. They have an amazing secondary, and they have a very good linebacking core. Yeah. They are just solid all around.
Yeah, I like our secondary probably a smidge better, but I like their linebackers probably a smidge better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
really
I love Cooper DeJean, though, man. That guy just performs. He sounds like a brand name, but that dude just performs.
Yeah, he does sound like a brand name. I do
both,
like our
both strong defenses. Yeah, I agree. I think our secondary's got a slight edge, but linebackers, you might be right, Dex.
Yeah, it's probably them on the linebackers. Okay, coaching, come on.
I mean,
that's humongous. That's like a D
competitive
versus
advantage.
An A plus, like whatever, man.
Like to me, that is like I don't know how you like weighted grades. I feel like you have to weight the grade in the NFL, and it's weighted towards coaching and quarterback. So when you look at those two things, like it puts the Chiefs in a really good spot. I understand the Eagles, phenomenal talent. They got tons of talent. I don't know though if Jalen Hurts can step up. It's all going to come down to Saquon, in my opinion. If the Chiefs can stop Saquon, they win the game.
We've got to stop the freaking derpy tush push.
Yeah, well,
they
we did it last
shoved their way
week.
through 3rd and 4th down.
We did it.
Buffalo is no Philly, man.
No.
But we did it
Not
2 years
even
ago.
close. That's
2 years ago, we were
and a
able
C.
to craft a game plan that like nullified the tush push with Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, because it can't be 3rd and 1. Can't be 4th and 1.
They're still going to get it half the time. You can't give it up 90% of the time, right? Yeah. If they stop it once or twice,
we need
that may be all it takes.
3rd and 3 or plus.
You can't tush. We need no tush 3rd downs.
Right? That's going to be key to the game. What do you guys think about, are we going to be able to run on the Eagles?
We have to at least threaten the run, or we're going to be one-sided.
I think a whole lot of no.
But I don't think we're going to need to. I think it's going to be – I think that Patrick Mahomes is going to find his solutions between throwing reasonable passes between his tight ends, wide receivers, and then when they are not like – because, again, you can't spy him, and so he's just going to, like, run. Take the over on his rushing. I don't think that's an issue. They're going to be able to move the ball. They're going to score points. I don't believe that's going to be necessarily the issue, but I don't think it's good. They're not going to score every time.
The scheme that they used against Buffalo should still have a reasonable chance. Philly's got a better defense, so it shouldn't work as well. But they got Mahomes, threw the ball a lot, but he got rid of it quickly. They didn't use wide receivers a ton, right? It's a lot of quick screens maybe to a wide receiver, but a lot of tight end throws and hitting the backs out of the backfield and running the ball, like Lou said.
on Saquon. What do we have to hold Saquon under?
Oh, if we hold him under 120, is my opinion.
That's where I'm at.
But
too,
you hold him
120.
under 100, it's like they win by like 7 to 10.
Okay.
If they hold him under 120, it's a 3-point game. He gets over like 120 to 150. I think it's going to be a coin flip. Anything over 150, we're hosed.
Yeah.
Because they'll just eat too much clock. I mean,
Well,
their idea is to
anything
keep
over
Mahomes off the
150,
field, right?
he's broken off some of these dumbass runs. That's like,
Yes.
oh, cool.
I know,
This
that's
is
what makes me
backbreaking,
nervous.
man.
Like,
You
he's
give
not
up?
a grinder. He is a home run. He's swinging for the fences.
Yeah,
every
but you know
play.
what? It's
Guys
like
hit a bunch.
they just played the Commanders.
True.
Like, yeah, cool. You just ran for 300 yards against the Commanders, all right?
Right.
And then before that,
Whose best defensive player is
Bobby Wagner.
Exactly.
Bobby Wagner's like older than us. Like,
On the
know, that's our
coaching
point.
staff?
That's what
Yeah.
we're saying.
so it's like everybody's going,
He's a
oh
player
my God, oh my
coach.
God. It's like, yeah, well, the Chiefs are, okay. The Chiefs have had to prepare for Derrick Henry repeatedly.
True.
And shockingly, they've never, ever had a problem with taking on Derrick Henry. I
Yeah.
think they're going to
You're
use
right.
some similar process to make sure, cool, Jalen Hurts, if you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us. And 2 years ago, they did that, and he still couldn't beat them even having a darn near perfect game.
That's
Yeah.
probably
That's
another
what
good
makes
prop
it
is the
tough,
Hurts
man.
over.
Like, I got you.
Yeah.
The Eagles should win this game, and everybody says the Eagles should be favored, and the Chiefs have held at minus 1.5.
It hasn't wiggled at all.
Not at all.
Not
even a
even
little
a
bit.
halfer.
Yeah.
Vegas is like, nah, I ain't buying this. I've
That's
seen
'cause-
this. I've read this book before.
I'm definitely not giving plus money on this. crap.
I'm not going to
No.
let you just take the Chiefs for plus money this time.
No.
Vegas is like, the Chiefs didn't trade Mahomes to the Lakers, right? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So the question is, if the Chiefs, if the Eagles get the coin toss and they go down and score, here's a question for you: do you get plus money at that point? Does Vegas go to plus
I don't
money?
think so. I think it'll
If they
be
get a
some
touchdown, I bet it
minus-
flips.
You think it
okay,
goes then?
I think it goes probably plus 110 if it flips.
Oh,
Then
if
I'm
it
like,
does, if it does, I'm absolutely taking the plus money.
You
and
better
just-
get on it
literally
quick.
every dollar in all of my accounts will go, and I'm just going to ride out the rest of the game. And
And
if I
all
lose, I lose. I don't care.
The entire
Right.
world should also put their house mortgage on the game at that
Absolutely.
point because it's rigged.
It's totally
Right.
rigged.
I mean,
Don't
there's
you
no
know?
way you can lose the money.
We've got it. It's
The
rigged.
logo
It's
is
in-
mostly red. It's already in the bag.
So
That's
who's the if the let's play this game.
All right, I got to get
if
my
we-
I got to get my number, and I got to get out,
Okay.
and then I'll let you guys finish up.
Okay.
All
so
right,
what's your number?
I'm going to say this is the number's been in my head the whole time. Chiefs 27, Eagles 24.
27-24. Okay.
I
You writing these down, Dex?
Yep, got
I
it.
believe that's what
All
we're
right.
dealing with. Guys, I absolutely have to go. Thanks, Shrewdness listeners. Appreciate it very much.
All right. See you next week, Lou. So
See you, Lou.
so if the Eagles win, is Saquon going to be their MVP? Is there any
Has to
chance
be.
anyone else gets the MVP?
If he scores more than a touchdown and runs for more than 140, then yeah, he's got to
I'd
be the
say
MVP.
100 and a touchdown and a win is going to be an MVP for him.
Okay.
Unless
Is there
there's just some
any chance-
extremely ridiculous plays. Like if it's a defensive play that wins the game. Like remember that dude that got 2 picks?
Yeah.
And that was like the only thing he ever
Oh.
did. Dallas guy
Who
a
was
million
that
years ago.
dude? Dallas against Pittsburgh. Neil
Yeah.
O'Donnell threw 2.
Yeah, just threw right in his breadbasket. I mean, then he got
Right.
paid like he was really good, and he
Oh.
wasn't really good.
No.
But Super
That
Bowl
was
MVP,
awesome.
he is.
Totally.
So that said, there could be a weirdo thing like that, but all things, it's either Hurts or Saquon. And then on
Yeah.
the Chiefs side, it's probably Mahomes or Mahomes or Mahomes.
What
Yeah.
about
I can't see
Yeah.
anybody else.
maybe Kelsey?
I mean, he'd have to have like 14,
It'd be-
180, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Right. It'd be something like 3 sacks from Chris Jones and a forced fumble or something
Yeah,
like
A
that.
defensive touchdown.
Yeah, it'd have to be something crazy. Because even when like
Bolton did it.
2 years ago when
Yeah,
Bolton
Bolton
forced the
did
2
it.
fumbles,
Got
almost
one
had
for a
2.
touchdown, right?
Probably should have had the other one that
Yeah.
got nullified by incomplete pass or whatever. But yeah, that's the only possible scenario other than Mahomes in my mind.
So I think on the Philly side, my player to watch is, because I think the Chiefs are going to go all in, like we said, stop at Saquon. I think AJ is going to be against
McDuffie probably.
So I think it's Slim Reaper. If Slim Reaper has a big game, we're in trouble because he's going against our 2. It's going to be most likely him mano-a-mano, right? Mano-a-mano us 2. If he gets open and starts making dents in us,
he could cause problems.
I'm worried at that point because I think we've got to commit most of the resources to stopping the run. You got to go ahead and hope McDuffie could shut down AJ, which I feel relatively good about. I feel like that's a pretty good matchup.
Yeah.
Then you get to, the question is who's the 2? Is it going to be Jalen? Is he he wasn't in tip-top game shape yet, so he didn't play that many.
He's got the ability to take over a game. We've seen it.
Yep.
And he wins things. He wins games. He's here again. He's in the Super Bowl again. Yeah. And he's hungry.
Oh, yeah.
He did everything last time. I was like, how did I not win 2 years ago? How did that happen? And now they're back. This is gonna be a tough out, man. I think there's gonna be. I'm not gonna be surprised if this goes the wrong way.
I wouldn't either.
I think I haven't done it yet. I need to hedge. Yeah. I took the Chiefs in the Super Bowl plus 500 before the season even started.
I got that. I got them plus 400, so I'm in the same spot.
So I need to throw something on the Eagles probably just to hedge. But what's your score prediction, Dex?
So I'm close to Lou. I think it's going to be a few more points just because I think the fourth quarter is going to be multiple touchdowns. I just think that's what's going to happen. It's going to be those guys making plays. So I got 32-27 KC. So I think we're going to be down. And Pat Mahomes is going to come down the field and get one for us. It's going to be great. So 32-27 KC.
Okay. Prue?
I like a lower scoring game in this one. I think the defenses are going to show up on both sides. Points are going to be a little fewer and farther between. So I'm going to say 24-21.
Okay.
Butker with the last second field goal.
Nice.
So I've been having a weird vibe this week. And the weird vibe I had is we've had a lot of really good, really close Super Bowls in a row. And we're due for a stinker. And I think the stinker is going to come in the form of the Chiefs putting their foot on the acceleration like never before. Andy Reid going, I'm getting the three-peat. I want to be the only one to ever do it. Mahomes saying, I'm sick of this. Kelsey saying, I'm sick of this ref crap. We're not leaving it close. We're going to put the foot on the gas, and we're going to throw everything at them, and it's 35-17. 35-17 Chiefs, a bit of a snoozer for the rest of the world to fuel their anger at the Chiefs being in the
pickled
Super Bowl
anger.
Again. They're going to be really upset, but we're due for a not great Super Bowl. The Chiefs generally just dish up incredible classics. I could do without a classic too. The Heart could do without a classic. I'd like a little bit of a not less second drive. Yeah. It's fun afterwards, but man, it's a little stressful in between.
I had a funny dream this last week. It was just kind of goofy, and my wife's like, "Oh my gosh, why are you dreaming about that?" I was out to happy hour, just hanging out with Travis Kelce. Yeah, just kind of shooting the breeze, kind of talking. He's kind of incognito for whatever reason, wherever he were. They didn't all know who he was.
Right.
He had his hat on low, and he's kind of coming in like, "Hey Dex, what's up, man?" Like, "Hey T, what's up? Let's do this thing. Let's have a beer." And so then my cousin comes in, Becky.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh my God, Travis Kelce!" Ah! And then the whole restaurant turns around, the whole bar is coming up doing autographs. I'm like, God, I told you the one thing, just
be cool,
be cool about it.
What are we doing? God, he just wanted to chill, man. Now I got to go somewhere else. That's all right, Trav. Let's go somewhere else.
He might never hang out with me again now, Becky.
We're never gonna hang again.
I know. That was my one chance. But in the dream, it's kind of like we'd hung out multiple times. So I don't know.
Right. You were close.
Yeah,
you
we were
close.
tight.
Right.
Right word.
Absolutely.
So I'm feeling pretty good. He was feeling pretty relaxed. I was like,
Okay.
got nervous. Like, it's just a game. Just got to do
Yeah.
the game. Got to
He's got
execute.
it.
So
He's got
I don't
this
know.
thing.
I feel pretty good. He is calm in the dream. He's ready.
I would be. I wouldn't be shocked to your. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Philly pulled it out. I would be a little bit. The it factor that the Chiefs have with this combination of players, it just feels like when they get to this game. I know there was Tampa, but Tampa was so different.
We had
so
no offensive
outmatched
line
on
and
the
our defense
offensive
blew.
line.
Yeah.
There was just so many things going into that game that didn't feel great. I don't see Sirianni come with any wrinkles. They don't have Tom Brady on the other side. So,
No.
like, it feels like it would be a pretty big upset for Philly to win. The nice part about it is we're the villains. Everybody hates us. Everyone's going to be rooting against us. However, no one likes Philly either because
they're Philly.
They're Philly, and they're pricks. Their fans are – sorry, Philly fans. You got a reputation in case you didn't know.
Yeah, you destroyed your town
kind of deserved
again
it.
after the game again. Why are you
Yeah.
wrecking your town every time you win?
Right.
That's so weird.
Just
Go
be
have a
cool.
couple cocktails. Be cool.
Just be cool with Trav, Philly. Just
be cool.
Is Becky from Philadelphia, Dex?
Right.
Oh my
So-
God.
But bonus question for you two. You think Jason is rooting for Trav this year? Or
Oh, yeah.
for Philly?
Man, I forgot to listen to the episode. He apparently said what he's going to root for, but
Oh, did he?
yeah, I didn't listen to the New Heights episode yet.
I
so-
wonder. I mean,
Maybe he's like Mama Kelsey and roots for the offense.
does does the split jersey? That would be
Yeah.
that would be appropriate because he's still got some boys on that team, right? I totally
Yeah.
can see that. But your bros on this side going for history. Oh man.
Yeah, I know. You think you'd want to go history? I hope he's going for Travis. 'Cause that'd be
Well, I always go blood thicker than water, blood thicker than anything. So it's like,
Yeah.
I'm probably going for bro.
yeah.
Kylie Kelsey's probably still wearing her Phillies jersey.
I believe it.
She's
She's
probably-
like,
He's,
listen, I married
diehard.
you, and that's my brother-in-law. I got it.
Well,
This is my
supposedly
team.
she was a Phillies fan before she even met Jason. So,
Yeah,
Oh,
she was.
absolutely. Yeah,
She
so
was
she's
hardcore.
diehard.
yeah.
Does Taylor bring any celebrity guests with her to the box?
How
for the,
many is the
Super Bowl?
answer?
I think it could be.
Define celebrity. It'll be somebody you've heard of before, but
Yeah.
But I probably won't
I mean-
know them until they put their name under their face.
Yeah.
Except for Mom, Pa, Kelsey.
Because we're old.
They'll be
That's exactly right.
they'll flash at least 8 other celebrity names up there from sitting around the stadium and all that.
Absolutely.
They could do
Absolutely.
the entire winners of the Grammys in the box, and I would
Yes.
know none of
Be
them.
like, who?
Who are
is
these
that?
Yeah.
people?
Who is
Where's
that?
Billy Joel? And then for Lewis, they're no Chicago. That's for sure.
Why do they only have one name? All of them
Right. Everyone.
I mean, are they adopted?
with a
I don't
with a dash in
understand.
it.
Right. Totally confusing.
I want to do
Uh,
one of these. So, heads or tails? What's coin toss going to be?
Oh. It's tails.
All right.
Yeah, I like tails.
Prew's going tails. Man, I was thinking that, but can't be all. I'm going to go heads out of principle.
All right. Fair.
Well, actually, we could just Shrewdness bet. I'll just go tails. That was my initial thought, too.
Let's do
I
it.
think I think it's a tails
Alright.
year.
Bet the house on tails.
Oh,
right.
Shrewdness is tails. All right, and then
Take your minus 110 odds.
yeah, exactly. And then the national anthem length, which
Oh,
is always
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
a fun one. Over or under, whatever
Who's
the heck
doing
it is.
it?
It's
Who's
like
doing it?
158 or something.
Who's singing it?
I don't know, actually. That's probably a
Oh,
key. We got to find out if
that's
it's
a
a
key.
long.
That's totally key. Yeah.
But they have to
Who
actually-
is-
If
They
it's someone with a dash in their name, I'm going to say over.
right.
Pruitt.
The national
Oh my
anthem.
gosh.
They tend
Kendrick
to.
Lamar's doing the halftime show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I like Kendrick Lamar, but I don't think it's going to be a good halftime show because most people don't know Kendrick Lamar, so I think it's not going to be great. National anthem
Like I said-
is John Baptiste.
Yeah, I know the name. I accidentally watched the Grammys a couple years ago. He was that guy.
Huh.
I'll go
I don't remember him.
over. I'm gonna go over.
All right.
I think it's like what 158, 202, whatever the heck it is.
I'm saying under.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna
'Cause no
I'm gonna
dash?
go-
No dash.
I'm gonna go.
But what if
under
it's
too.
Jean Baptiste with a dash?
No
All right,
dash. There's
under
no
for-
dash in the name. There's no dash.
Yep.
Ooh. All right. You think he's just
That's the
gonna grip it
difference.
and rip it? All
That's
right.
right.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. And then
Rip it and rip it.
favorite player prop. Even though I know they're not all out yet, there's a bunch. But who do you think's going to do well in the game, I guess? And I know we've had our kind of picks to click. Who do we like? Padog, do you like
got
anyone in
one?
particular in this game that's going to be like blank over X yards or whatever? Or no matter what the line is, take the under.
I'm gonna say AJ Brown under receiving yards. I think
Ooh, I like it.
I think McDuffie's gonna show up, and I think Jalen Hurts is going to struggle to get him the ball.
I like
Okay.
it.
All right.
All right. Chiz, you got
Go
anybody?
ahead, Dex. Get yours.
All right. The one I like is I think to go with our point that we're not going to probably rush the ball very well. The guy that's going to be our guy moving the chains is going to be the one that's been moving it lately. And I think it's a big part of the offense is Xavier Worthy. So I'm going to go Xavier 60-plus yards receiving, which I don't know where the line
Ooh.
is. I think it's around that. So I'm on the over, though. But 60-plus, I'll do
I
an
like
outline if
that.
it's something close, but that's what I'm going to go with.
Yep. I'm glad you guys didn't take this one because I thought somebody would, but it's Mahomes over rushing all day.
Yeah.
It said
But
that
I figured
29
Lou kind of
29
threw
and
that
a
one
half.
out.
Well, yeah, it's what?
29 and a half.
Oh.
And
That is a lot.
While that's a lot for slow Mahomes,
Not in the Super Bowl.
he's gonna rip off two long ones at some point.
He'll rip off a 15-yarder at some point,
Yep.
and then he'll have a couple more that are 6 or 8 yards, and
Yep.
yeah, he'll approach that.
I like the over. I don't ever like the over on his rushing, but man, in the playoffs, I love Mahomes over rushing yards.
He was the other one I had, but between the two, I just like someone's gonna move the chains for us the rest of the game, and I agree. Mahomes probably gonna have a couple good rushes, but
there's another
Yeah, I just
interesting one that I like that kind of goes with yours, Prue. There's a prop that's plus 160. It's Devontae Smith to have more receiving yards than AJ Brown. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
So plus
That'd be a
160
good combo.
feels pretty good to me, especially you got McDuffie managed, against Brown. I kind of like that. I kind of like that prop a lot.
it could be. I like it. I think that's the only one to have for Super Bowl. I thought it'd kind of fun ones to get though. Put a little something up there. And other than that, I think we're gonna hit into just a little kind of preview, right?
Yeah.
Next little
So
block.
what do we got coming up after Dex? What are we going to be doing after the Super Bowl? Obviously, next week we'll talk about the game.
So after we hopefully are talking about the Chiefs, Pete, next week,
Come on.
and just probably being just unlistenable for non-Chiefs fans that are Shrewdness listeners.
True.
We will be. I mean, one way or the other, it's gonna be. There's gonna be a rant, good rant or bad rant, and there'll probably be some stuff in the middle.
Plenty of Chiefs, diehard closet Chiefs fans out there that'll listen in next
right.
week. I have
Yeah.
no doubt.
It'll be a historic effort
or
regardless.
people who hate the Chiefs who want to hear us wallow in our misery. One of the two.
Exactly. But we're also
Yeah.
going to start shifting gears to the next big American sport of baseball.
Pickleball. Baseball.
Pitchers and catchers report next week to the Great
US
Cactus
Open.
Leagues.
Oh.
That's right. And so what we're going to do for you guys is going to become a fun thing. So if you're doing some fantasy baseball leagues, or if you just want to get ready for the season because you're just a baseball fan, we're going to do that for you. So we are each taking it upon ourselves 7 weeks. We're each taking one team each week. We're going to kind of give you a quick preview, little 5-10 minute little deal about each team, kind of where they're at, prospects, outlook, starting rotations, lineup. And again, they'll probably get better towards the end of the 7 weeks because they'll be a little more solidified. But regardless, we're
Yep.
going to hit up those teams and give you something to kind of work with for your drafts coming up. And we're also then, so he was like, the math student, these guys are idiots. It's only 28 teams and there's 30. You guys really are bad at math for having engineers and crap on your show. Track and all. That's why we're doing 2 special ones to hit the teams that need a little bit more. So, Avi, the Royals are going to be one of those episodes.
Course.
We're going to have a full-length, deep dive, all things Kansas City.
2025 World Series preview Royals.
That's it. That's right. The Bobby Witt MVP preview show. That's what we're going to be talking about for one. And then the other team, they've done so much and too much. We have to talk about the Dodgers.
Yeah. it's
It's going to be the other team it's going to get its own little show because
World Series favorites.
Love them or hate them, they are stacked.
They got a mega
their
team
6th
coming.
hitter, is probably an all-star MVP candidate.
They got a mega team coming this year.
It is ridiculous, and it got better. It got better.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Their
So now they fixed their
5
pitching
starting
staff.
rotation would be most people's first 5.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They've
Their
got
bullpen could all start for
multi-Cy
us.
Yeah. So it's going to be kind of fun. So that's what we're going to do. We'll have 7 weeks, 4 teams each, 1 each. And Lewis will only be taking American League teams. And all is dull. It all sucks. Blah, 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 blah. So Princess will only be hitting you up. with
Princess,
American League teams.
NL is beneath him. Therefore, he cannot.
Princess
Yeah.
Luyana. Well,
So the senior circuit will be taken by me for
Yeah.
7 of them because it's the only way Princess can get his way because then someone has to take all National League teams. So I don't know. I think
Fruit and I will be splitting between the leagues.
Yeah.
Find,
equal
I'm not,
opportunity.
yeah.
We got the EO section of the pod.
yes, that's right.
They'll
Yeah.
take any team, any location.
I'll break down any team anytime. Let's do it.
So that's what's coming up. It should be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it. Last year we didn't really touch it too much. We kind of were hitting mostly Royals previews only.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be a fun idea. And again, it'll give you something to look at when you're doing your draft prep. And so each week we'll have that. So if you want to hear about a certain player or a certain team, you can go back to that episode,
Amen.
check it out on either YouTube or obviously Spotify
That's
or
right.
wherever you listen to.
It was about a year ago that we dreamed up this podcast and started getting
Yeah.
it rolling. So
Started talking about it.
That's right.
So
We're
we
doing
didn't have-
dry runs last year.
that's
Yeah.
right. We didn't spend a whole lot of time on preseason baseball because we were still conceptualizing the show.
That's right.
True
That's right.
story. Yeah, we're coming
Yeah.
up on I don't know when the first episode was. God, I have to actually look at that. I don't know if it was April.
First
May?
official one was like early June, but we started recording in
May-ish.
April, working
Yeah.
on our skills,
Yeah.
There we go. Building our
Yeah.
skill set, which really worked.
Yeah,
which
oh,
you
yeah.
can
We're
tell
like pros.
needs a lot more work.
You can tell.
We'll get there. We'll
So
get
behind the scenes, our editing skills are getting lots of work.
The dog is definitely learning a lot on the edit side for
Yeah.
sure.
there. That's what we got coming up. So hopefully you guys can keep follow, subscribe. We got some baseball coming up for you after the season. It'll be
Yep.
fun. We're looking forward
And
to
we'll also talk some college basketball. We round the corner into that.
Absolutely.
We were going to have a Missouri segment. I know we talked about. We just ran out of time this time. We'll cover a little Mizzou next time.
Yep.
but
We need
that
Lewis's
is
take on Mizzou basketball this year. He's a big fan.
Great season.
Follows them
Number
closely.
15 right now in the country. So it's going to be a fun rounding out, and we're not far from March Madness. So that's always
Wow.
a good time. We'll do some bracket previews shows as well. So that'll be
Oh yeah, an internal bracketology
absolutely.
contest among ourselves here, and maybe we'll even throw in some Shrewdness listeners into the mix.
Yeah.
If you're interested in submitting a bracket, let us know.
I like it.
We can
Yeah,
do
let's do
a
it.
Shrewdness pool.
We'll find a way to put it up.
Awesome.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up for now. Lou had to sign off already, but Jizz, Dex, and Prue signing off as the Shrewdness Podcast. We'll see you after the Super Bowl. Have a great week.